Hey guys, this is Fluffal Stuff Incorporated. I'm here with another evaluation video. Today I'm going to do my Fluffal deck evaluation. And I really love Fluffal, so the 5 criteria I'm going to rate this deck over are consistency, power, comeback ability, protection, and versatility. So let's not waste any more time and let's get to consistency. This deck is highly consistent. I mean, not only by themselves, they search a lot of cards like Fluffal Bear, Fluffal Dog, Fluffal Owl, and draw off of Fluffal Wings. They have access to a lot of indirect support with cards like Dark Fusion, cards like King of the Swamp. So, in consistency, I feel like the deck deserves a 5 out of 5, just because of how much they can search and draw in just one turn. Now on to power. The fusions by themselves, they are very, very powerful. They're very unforgiving. So, oh my gosh, they can reach ridiculous stats. They go from like 0 to 100 in just one turn. It's very ridiculous in what they can do. So I feel like the power area deserves a 5 out of 5. Now on the comeback ability. Man, this deck really excels at that too. With the Wings play in their disposal, they can very easily get their resources. Not only that, but their resources are all recurable, and they can always make a big board again if they need to. So, I feel like in comeback ability, it deserves a 4 out of 5. And now on to protection, which is honestly its lowest score. I mean, aside from cards like Sheep and Sabretooth, they're severely lacking in defenses. I mean, if you go Battle Fader on a Fluffal player, or in my own experience as Menko, you know who you are. If you're watching this video, I hate you for using Menko, and if you use it again, I will rip your throat out. That being said, if cards are played like that, they are very lacking in defenses. So yeah, I give protection a 2 out of 5. Now on to versatility. I mean, the Esther deck is a toolbox for almost anything you need. They have their own Armades and Sheep, they have their own Volcasaurus and Leo, they have their own Field Bomb and Tiger, and they have their own OTK machine with Wolf. So, yeah. And also, they have a lot of ways to search and draw the cards they need to get to those resources. So I feel like versatility deserves a 4.5 out of 5. And this deck is pretty much the definition of a glass cannon, so yeah. It really fits my playstyle. I mean, if you play Pokemon, he's pretty much the Weavile of Yu-Gi-Oh! So yeah. So now on the 3 pros and cons. I feel like I should go over the pros first. The first one being, they're very aggressive with very little to no setup time. Like Blue Eyes, they can go from 0 to 100 in seconds. I mean, you can make a massive board of a bunch of fusion monsters and just wreck house just in one turn, in a snap. So I feel like the deck is very aggressive, and it really fits my playing style. And now for the second pro is that they can search and recover cards a lot. I mean, with cards like Agent Chain, cards like Fluffal Cat, maybe even Rabbit, and a lot of cards like maybe even Fluffal Bear's second ability, Fluffal Owl, they can easily recover and search their resources and get a bigger board in the process. So they can almost never go neg 1, neg 2, or even neg 3 on their fusion summons. So, last pro I want to go over is that they can easily reach ridiculously high attack stats on their own, and they're easily the best fusion toolbox out there, and have the best fusion spells for them. So, what do I mean by that? Is that cards like Frightfur Tiger can help Frightfurs on the field gain at least 300 attack points for each Frightfur out there. So, like 3 Frightfurs, they all gain 1200 attack points, not just Tiger. So, it helps all of them become massive beat sticks with abilities on top of that. And also, those same fusion monsters have their own abilities like Armades being able to revive itself and being the Armades, and Leo being a Volcasaurus, and Sabretooth being a Monster Reborn and a Wall. And also, I feel like they have the best fusion spells too. They're all, not only that they're searchable with cards like Agent Chain, Frightfur Fusion is a Miracle Fusion, Frightfur Factory is a polymerization that's continuous. Just a lot of it just works in their favor. It's just really great. So I feel like that Fluffals by themselves, their Frightfurs, and their support for that, I feel like they're by far the best fusion deck to actually have the best fusion spells that works with them. So I feel like that the deck has a lot to work with, and it's really, really effective in what they do. Now, what's bad about the deck? One is that without Sheep or Sabertooth, the deck is very fragile, and their boards can be easily broken with the right deck. I mean, if you go up against like Draco Pals or something, you're pretty much dead if you set up a board and they stop your battle phase somehow. I mean, I've seen even some play Menko. I recommend that as a good tech, by the way. So yeah, those boards can be easily breakable, but if it's on your turn, you pretty much win unless they stop you. Another thing is that the archetype is very, very closed off, with possibly Shaddoll's as the only reliable engine of the time, as well as the Brilliant engine. So the deck can be very closed off, and it feels closed off, despite them being very wide by themselves. The last thing is that they're the fusion version of Synchron. Like, they need their fusion monsters to even win, and maybe even exceed monsters at times. So if you go up against Monarch, you pretty much lose, just because of how hard it is to get around those things. Now for my experiences of the deck. This deck is my absolute favorite deck to play. It fits my playing style, very aggressive, gets all the resources. It seems like the perfect aggressive fusion deck in my opinion. Another thing is that encourages you to go all out. I mean, not only that it gives you your resources back and it repays you for having to go all out. I mean, if you go like Tiger with a cat, you get your Polymerization back and you get to pop some cards, so you're always generating advantage while building up your board. So I feel like that Fluffals are very good in that area. And then the last thing I want to say is that it gives you enough freedom to make your deck the way you please. I mean, with cards like Fluffal Rabbit, I mean, like, they have everything they need to be a well-rounded fusion deck that uses Polymerization. And they have their own cards to make more fusions happen, with cards like Fright for Factory and Fright for Fusion, which are searchable by chain. So I feel like the deck has more than enough freedom to make the boards and the extra deck and just overall everything that you want to make the deck become. So I thought that the deck is very excellent in what it did. I hope it gets more than enough support, and that Monarch to get completely neutered on the ban list, so I can see Fluffals rise to the top, hopefully. Hopefully not get hit by the ban list, just keep that in mind. So, yeah, that's my Fluffal evaluation. So if you guys like this, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. So, talk to you guys next time.